Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. It's your girl, Tamika Hall, and you are live with me. And this music, though. Hey, 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 hey. Y'all know I love some good music. I love good music. It's been about 2 weeks since I've been live with y'all, and I'm really excited to be back with you on tonight. And tonight I'm interviewing a really important guest to me. She's almost kind of become like, I don't know, she's almost like an auntie, a mom, like she's just all those things wrapped into one over the last couple of weeks. And I'm really excited to bring her to you. Before we get started, I do want to just say, if you have not yet, if you're interested in purchasing a ticket for the She Wins brunch, you're definitely not going to want to miss that. Make sure that you go to shewinsbrunch.com. You're not going to want to miss that. I'm trying to tell you. Also, if you have not had an opportunity to catch my interview with Alicia Shaw, I was on her podcast, The Book of Alicia Shaw, and it was released today. So if you go to The Book of Alicia, then you'll be able to catch my interview there. So yeah, sometimes the kid gets interviewed as well. I need for you to do me a favor. I need you to share this broadcast out. If you're on Amazon, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, I need you to share this out and let people know that we are live with Mj Stroman, okay? We are live with her. This is not an interview that you want to miss. This is the interview if you or somebody that you know has dealt with teenage pregnancy, if you or somebody that you know has dealt with the pain of having a tense relationship with their parents, if you or somebody that you know, you've ever felt like you did not fit in, this is the broadcast for you. This is the broadcast for you. So listen, I'm really excited to bring to the stage Miss Mj Stroman. MJ, hi. How are you?
I am so excited to be here today. Thank you so much, Dr. Tamika Hall. You are my daughter. You are my niece. You just in my family. It's no longer friends here, honey. You my niece now. It's over.
It's all over. It's all over. I adore you. You look beautiful. You just look
great. Thank you.
Yes. Your hair is cute. Your lips are popping. I mean, go ahead.
Be popping. We will get into the lips too. Okay.
Yes. Now, okay, talk to me about your jacket. I'm like so feeling like we talked about it for a second backstage, but I'm really feeling this jacket. So talk to me about your jacket.
Okay, well, my jacket was inspired by the book. I decided to laugh. And my testimony, I designed it myself. It's one of a kind. And it was out of all of the things that a person experienced that have been sexually abused. And it talks about the pain and it talks about the abuse. It talks about the horror, the sorrow that a kid goes through when they are violated.
So okay, I know this may feel weird because you didn't know I was going to do this, but would you mind kind of standing up so we can just see all the words that are on your blazer? This blazer is so dope, Miss Melly. You know you're going to have to reproduce this, right? Like,
yes.
You have boys, girls. Wow, you have raped there. You have on the front. I see where you say, "Please help me." Wow.
Yes.
Save our children. Miss Melanie, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Oh, wow. I was sexually abused and I'm not okay. Wow. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Fault, unloved, fear, depression, grief, molested, hopelessness, trauma, suicide, anxiety, hate, weak, pain, violated, broken, stress. Oh my God. Anybody ever felt like this? You ever been stressed out? felt like you had shame. It's all here on the blazer. Beautiful.
Yes, it is. And it says it's not your fault. And
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
Not your fault.
So how long did it take you to do this?
Well, don't ask my children. Well, I had gotten inspired and I started doing it, and I just stayed at it for about 6 weeks. It took me 6 weeks, not because it was tedious. I would do it and I would step back. I would do it and I would step back, and I just wanted to take my time and put these words out here. This jacket, I will wear it when I speak. I will wear it in an interview. I will let people know that there are children out here every day that's dealing with this trauma. And this is a conversation that we need to have, especially in the Black community, We need to have that.
We do need to have it. And it's usually one of those conversations that it's very hush hush, you know, and we know what happens in this house stays in this house. We know that's the message. Before we dive right in, because I'm excited, I do want to give some shout outs. We have LaToya hanging out with us over on Amazon. How you doing? We have Alicia Shaw that's hanging out with us over on Amazon. Alicia says she loves the blazer. She said, talk about a statement piece. We have Burnett that said the blazer, and she has all caps.
The blazer.
Listen, it's about the blazer. I'm telling you, you got to make me one. I will buy it. I love it. Vera, thank you so much. Vera Pettiford, thank you so much for joining us on Amazon and for following me there.
Vera!
Mom Wendy out of Maryland, thank you so much for hanging with us tonight. I appreciate you all. Let's look at who we have over here. We have Fran, thank you so much for joining us. We have Shanice, who is also from the West Coast. Thank you so much for joining us as well. Valerie is over here with us. LaTanya, thank you for being here and live with us. We have Linnea. How you doing, my dear? We have Maya that's hanging out with us as well. We have Miss Danae. Listen, you guys, this is very interactive. So feel free to make comments. If you have a question, I'm definitely going to have time at the end where you can ask MJ. And it's so hard for me to call you MJ. I feel like I'm being disrespectful.
You know what? You can call me MJ or Miss Melanie.
Okay, I want to call you Miss Melanie.
Miss Melanie, you could call me Miss Aunt. You could call me Miss. Okay. Let me tell you, it's so many names that I have. MJ is the last one.
MJ is your author pen name. It is your author pen name. So I am going to actually try to abide by that, but I just feel like I'm being disrespectful by not saying like Miss MJ or, something like that. But for everybody that is here, make sure that you connect and that you are interactive with us. LaToya says, hi, I am so happy to be here. Mom, you look beautiful, and I am very proud of you. Aww. And LaToya, thank you so much. She says, Tamika, thank you for having my mom on your show. She said, and now, y'all, this is out of the mouths of the babes, even though they're all grown. She said, everyone, please buy the book. I decided to laugh. So let's jump right into that. I decided to laugh.
Yes.
Where did the title come from?
The title came from just that. One day I just decided that I was going to laugh. I was wearing a mask for so many years and I smiled all the time and everybody thought, that, I was okay, but I was not okay. And one day this lady, I can't even remember her name. It was years and years and 10 more years ago. She said to me, I would love to know what's behind that smile. And I teared up and, it pricked something inside of me. I felt like she could see me. The mask was torn or ripped and she could see me. And so I wore a mask for so many years and I decided to take the mask off and laugh because I no longer lived in that pain. I decided to face it. And when I faced it, I was able to fix it. But this was years.
Why, a lot of us, and I know men do too, I know that they hide behind a mask, but did you even know that you were wearing a mask? Like, did you intentionally put on a mask or was it something that just happened over time?
I'm going to say yes and no. I grew up in a time where, you know, like you said, it was what goes on in this house stays in this house. You speak when spoken to. You don't speak in adult conversations. The kids now, they all over the place, but they can't do that with me because I don't allow it. But I didn't come up like that, so I had to wear a mask from the day it happened to me. Because I couldn't tell nobody.
And we're gonna dive into that. We're not gonna we're gonna dive all the way in. I do.
Yes, let's go. I told you nothing is off limits. Let's have it.
Well, look, I wanted to take a moment and just pause because today, this morning, we today you released your book. Today you released your book. And I'm really excited to just share with you, Miss Melanie, that you are officially a bestseller in 3 years. You are a bestseller.
Thank you, everybody. Oh my God.
Yes, the personal relationships.
Oh, look at God.
And get this, that's in Kindle, but you're also a bestseller in the child abuse category in the paperback book as well. So when we release the sound in the earth today, you really did. Now, friends, I do want to say to you that if you've purchased the Kindle right now, MJ is currently 20, 24, and 29. But y'all, we can get her to number one.
Yes,
to number one. What I need for you to do is, especially if you're here on Amazon, what I would really love for you to do, go ahead and let it out, Miss Melody. It's okay. If you look down in the carousel, you actually can purchase the book. We need for you to, first of all, we want you to buy both. But for this, please help her rise up on that Kindle and purchase the Kindle. The Kindle is currently $4.99. We want to help her soar all the way up to number one. Now, listen, now mind you, Miss Melanie, you made the top 100 list. So you make it 20, 24, and 29. That's first of all, that's not easy. There's over 1 million books on Amazon. And right now you're at 20, 24, and 29. You know what I'm saying? In 3 different categories. So it's not a small thing, but we want you to hit number one. Let's see what the folks are saying. She's listed as Sharp Things. She says, congratulations, Aunt Melanie. Alicia says, why am I teary? Alicia, I can't remember. Alicia, are you one of the editors on this book? I can't remember if it was you or Heather. Let me know. Let's see here. Hold on, because we have more. My mom is saying congratulations.
I love you, Mom.
We all love her. Shannon says congratulations.
Thank you,
Mom says the world is ready for you. She says the world is ready. Vera says congratulations, so deserving.
Vera, oh my cousin, I love you, Vera.
Maya says she just screamed for all of us. That's it. Berthina says, amen. You are doing it, Miss Melanie.
Thank you.
Miss Danae says, I decided to laugh is an awesome title. Miss June is here. Hi, Miss June.
Oh my gosh, I love you. I'm so proud of you. Listen, June is the reason why I'm connected to you. So she's forever my friend. Forever.
I love Miss June. She
said that you were the best. She said, and she will take care of your project. And you did. Oh, she loved you so much.
I love Miss June. Miss June is another one I feel is like an auntie and all of those things.
But I stole you from her.
You stole
you.
That's all right. I can be loved by everybody. I love it. Valerie says, I'm going to purchase a copy. Yes, listen, we really need for you guys to do that like right now, right? Yes. Because it all matters. It all matters. So if you guys can do that right now. H. Brinkley says, congratulations, cousin. I have goosebumps. So
thank you, my love. That's my little baby cousin, Linda. Thank you.
Yes, we have So Steph. She says, hi, here from the Nikki Star channel. So thank you so much.
Mama Star is here. Oh,
yes. And I actually did see Nikki Star. Everybody's chiming in. She says, Nikki Star says, so proud of you, MJ. So proud of you, MJ. Burnett says, She said, I just got my copy.
Yes.
H. Brinkley says, I purchased both. She said, I
Go
purchased
ahead with your bad
both.
self. Yes.
Love that. Toya says, bestseller. She said, we will get you to #1, Mom. She said, however, we're very proud of you on the bestseller list. You made it. She said she purchased her copy. Listen, I purchased 5 of them today, and I gave them out as gifts.
Roll call. Let me hear from Lauren.
Yes. And so, friends, if you do want to purchase the book, you actually can purchase more than one copy of that Kindle, and you can gift it out to people, because it definitely is one that you want to gift out. Now, to just jump back in, I really did want to celebrate. I picked up the phone to call you, Miss Melanie, and I said, nope. I said, I'm going to tell her live on the air that Toya, you and Toya, the banner. I was like, hurrying up. I saw this at 5:45. I said, oh God, she's going to be backstage soon. And I hurried up and put together the banners. I'll have that so that you can display that you did hit bestseller. That you did hit bestseller.
They know I'm going to blow it up.
I know.
Oh, they know I'm a...
I love it. I love it. So, okay. So, Miss Melanie, Mj Stroman, you are a Philadelphia native. You're a minister, a certified life coach, motivational speaker. Some of your greatest works is 3 of them. They call you Mom.
Yes. Yes.
I want to ask you, how did you get to this place where you're so joyful? Because we're going to get into your story. Mm-hmm. But nobody would know that you went through everything that you went through. Mm-hmm. How are you here today?
Okay, so many people that's probably listening and buying this book today probably don't even realize, because one of the things that I did, the mask, was to portray that I was happy. And when I looked down on that little girl, that first little girl, I had asked God, I said, when I was pregnant, I said, just allow this baby to love me. Mm. And that baby, when I say she loves me, and then I got 2 more that loves me triple, that's where my joy come from. That's where everything that I had in me was for them. And I had to live a life of joy for them. And I'm going to tell you something. That one oldest, she commands them to love me. They didn't have no choice.
Which was the oldest?
Toya.
Of course.
Oh, no. You could tell that. Oh, honey. She is the oldest. And so it comes from there. And, I decided that I was not going to allow anything to happen to them. And I just made a world with me and them. And that they were going to be successful, they were going to succeed, and they were going to be happy. So that's where it comes from.
So, Miss Melanie, you were a teen mom. Mm-hmm. And you were a teen mom. Like, I can't say that nowadays it's normal, but you were a teen mother where they were trying to hide y'all from the rest of the school.
Come on here. Tell the story.
Yeah. And so what was that like, being a teen mother during that time? What was that like from, like, talk to us about when your mom found out?
Well, I was, first, before I go into what my mom found out, I was ostracized in school. Like, nobody in school was pregnant in the 10th grade. You know what I mean? Nobody. So was it 9th grade? It was 10th grade. And, so everybody was whispering and talking about me. And I was popular in school. Just because I was funny or cool, and everybody I got along with everybody, and everybody got along with me. And so then it turned to me being that person to, she pregnant. Girl, she pregnant. And I lost friends.
Wow.
I lost friends. And my mother, I was pregnant, and my mother had no clue that I was pregnant.
Like, you hid it for a long time.
I hid it in plain sight. She never knew I was pregnant when we went to the doctor. Well, my sister, she dialed me out. She told, and I wasn't so fond of her then because
Yeah.
I just felt like she backstabbed me. Like, one of the things where I didn't even get a chance to say anything myself. Like, you just went and did that and told my mom that I was pregnant, and all hell broke loose for me. It wasn't a good transition. And my mother, my aunt, she worked at the hospital, so I got an appointment the very next day. And when my mother found out how far gone I was just about 8 months pregnant, almost 8 months pregnant, and her head came off. Her head literally came off. And the doctor said to her, "Well, where were you? And why did he say that?" Oh, she exploded. And I didn't have any prenatal care, you know what I mean? Because nobody knew. So he was explaining those things to her, and she was not ashamed of me. She was just disappointed that she didn't even know this.
Let's you said something. You just said you hid it in plain sight.
Yeah.
And I think that right now you're going to help daughters, you're going to help mothers right now as well. You hid it in plain sight. What are some things how did you manage to do that for 8 months? Because I think oftentimes as parents, what happens with our children is reflected on us. We take it very personal, but you intentionally hid this. How were you able to do that for 8 months?
Well, actually, I'm not going to say intentional, but it was intentional because I was afraid.
Right.
I couldn't tell my mother that I was pregnant. We didn't have a talking relationship. I came up in a time where you didn't have that kind of conversation. You couldn't just go and say, "This is what the deal is." So I was afraid to talk to my mother. My mother raised me with fear. You know what I mean? So I was afraid. And then I was the youngest of 2 children, and nobody was checking for me. Nobody saw me. I was not seen. So when you don't talk with your children, that's something that we're gonna have to get into. And I spoke about that in the book. You have to have conversation. I didn't say talk down to your children. I didn't say talk at your children. I didn't say belittle your children. I said you have to talk to your children. You have to find out what's going on with them every single day. It's even more crucial now than it was when I was coming up. We need to know what's in the minds of our children and what they're going through.
Kalisa over on Amazon says it's the Ms. Melanie moments in the book for me. Love it.
Yes.
And that is what I love about the book, because I Decided to Laugh really is a memoir where you're telling us about your life story, but you do have those pockets, those moments where you take a pause and you speak to the adult that's reading the book. Or if somebody were to read this book with their teenager, you speak to us with that. And what you just said, you said, nobody saw me.
Nobody saw me.
Back then, did you know that you weren't seen? Like, did you use that to your advantage? Like, did you take that for granted? Or was it a thing like, I'm not being seen, and that was a heartbreak for you? Like, what did that feel like? Because I have not experienced that. Like, my parents were the ones, like, I was always afraid of them finding out stuff. My mom, I swore that she had Jesus on speed dial. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, but I did still manage to hide certain things. I did, because if somebody wants to hide something, they'll hide it. But I can't say that I don't know what that feels like to not be seen by my parents. What does that feel like, Miss Melanie?
Well, I was always seen as, she's over there. She's playing with her dolls, or she's, it was never like, my mother was a single parent. Let me put that out there. And she wore 100 hats at one time. She not only wore all those hats, but trying to juggle all of that stuff. Now I feel for her.
Yeah.
Because number one, I'm a mom, a single mom. But now I kind of like understand. And then she taught my sister, which was her oldest, everything. Like when I'm not here, she taught her how to balance a checkbook. She taught her how to pay the bills. If I ever go in the hospital, this is what I want you to do. Like she taught everything to her, and I was the youngest, so they wasn't checking for me. I had like two parents. It was my mother and my sister. So I did so much, as with publishing the book. I did so much, they didn't even know that I was doing all that stuff because nobody was checking for me. Nobody saw me. When I was pregnant, that's when everybody seen me. That's when I became visible. Nobody saw me up until that point.
So you become visible with something that at the time, I mean, because we know that she's a beautiful blessing, but at the time you're being ridiculed at school, you're being ostracized, the family's talking about you, like you really go all the way inside of the book.
Everybody was talking about me. My family was talking about me. My mother, because I was so far gone, when she would go out, she would take me with her. And one particular time I talk about my grandmother in here. My grandmother is the funniest, I'm telling you. She said what she wanted to say, whether you liked it or not. And they were at a card game, and my mom brought me, and I was on the couch. I was sitting right there, the couch, and the game is right there. And she said, it's no sense in you bringing her now. She already pregnant. You should have been watching her before she got pregnant. And the whole conversation went on, and I was right there, and nobody considered me sitting right there. And whether or not it bothered me or not, it was just a whole conversation with the card game, with the people from the card game. And I was hurt. As a matter of fact, I dropped a couple of tears, but nobody even knew that I was even crying because nobody was checking for me.
Nobody was checking for you. Nobody. Let's rewind and let's go back to when Melanie, young Mj Stroman in the making, was the child that was nobody was checking for her. And that was when you were younger, and you actually talk about in the book being sexually abused.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, so my mom, she was married, and her my stepfather, they, broke up, and my sister and I had gone away on a vacation. So I told everybody in the neighborhood. But you could read why we went away in the book. I'm not going to give that away. But we came back, and my mother had had rented out a bedroom, and the bedroom was my bedroom, and I had a problem with it, but I did not. You don't have any say so. Yeah. I don't have no voice. I was not seen, and I had no voice. So the person, a pedophile makes you feel like made my mother feel like everything was okay. I got your back, whatever you need, I'm right there for you. Was very, very nice on the outside. Like things that my mother, they weren't in no relationship. He was like an uncle or whatever. My whole family loved him and everything, and he got their trust, got her schedule. My mother was working full time. She was going to school part time, to better her education so that she could get a better job. And, he knew her schedule. So he said, well, I'll check on the house or whatever. And I was 10 years old, and I got a picture in the book to show me at 10 years old, like, and then just to corner me and say, let me check and see if you're doing something with boys. Like, what in the world? But I'm a kid, so I'm vulnerable. I'm scared. I'm nervous.
And he really played on the respect that you had for your mom.
No, and he played on the fear that I had for my mom. And that he knew my mom, like he would threaten me with, if I tell your mom, she's going to whoop you behind. I was petrified of that.
Yes.
And I was as a child trying to say, I did not do that. But I felt guilty because the person made me feel guilty.
Yeah.
Wow. He take care of himself. And to the life of me, today. I can't understand a person that violates a child.
Yeah.
A child. Like, what in the world? A baby? Like, I'm 10 years old. I'm just riding a bike. And he did it repeatedly. He had, his mind was so that manipulative that he knew how to continue to do it repeatedly. Yeah.
And what people will read when they're in, you guys really do have to get this book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he really played on that uncle relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not only did he play on the fear that you had for your mom and getting in trouble, but he really played on this being an authority figure.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, you know, especially in the beginning, he made it seem like, look, I have to do this for your good.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is important for us to understand. This is why you guys got to get the book, because you really go in detail about how he was even grooming you for it. And it's important that we understand that sometimes these things as parents, this can really happen again in plain sight.
In plain sight, on your watch. On your watch. Like, I made sure that I was very detailed because I wanted other parents, especially single parents, to know that you have to be careful of everybody. Everybody. Watch as well as pray. You have to stay on the wall because people will play on you. I read something recently on social media. I don't know how true it is, but it was this guy was supposed to be saying that he looks through women profiles to see if there's a man in the picture. And if there's not a man in the household or whatever, that's the woman that he target so he could molest children. Now, I don't know how real that is, but when I saw that, it was real to me because that is the truth. That's exactly what kind of person that molested me. One of those kind of people that gained the trust of my mother. You know, and my mother wasn't no timid lady. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my mother would have dealt with him, trust and believe. She would have dealt with him had she known, and he knew how to manipulate me to the point where I would be afraid. And he knew that I couldn't talk to my mother. Pedophiles study you. They study the home. They study before they prey, before they pounce. So I wanted parents to know that you got to be careful of your friends that you bring around. You got to be careful of your boyfriends. Yeah, okay, I know you know, trying to, live your life too, but you got to be careful who you have around your children. It's just that serious. Because one night that you decide to go out with the girls and leave boyfriend home to watch the kids may be the night that your child's life is ruined forever.
Miss Melanie, especially in the African American community, and I know that we have a lot of viewers and even listeners of this that are of other ethnicities, but especially in the African American community, oftentimes we raise our children with fear, right? We'll they know that we're going to spank them in a minute, right? In one hot minute. And it doesn't, like, your mom wasn't a bad person. She was trying to increase her education. She was trying to do better for her kids. Like, she was busy. And
me and my sister, we didn't want for anything now.
Yeah, like
we didn't. The only thing that I fought her for is, and I don't even fault her for it because I understand. Her love language was doing for us. She had pride in making a better life for us because we moved to a predominantly white neighborhood to get a better education, and we wore the finest clothes. We had the finest. She wasn't a bad mom. She just had her way that I totally did the opposite with my children. Like it was my house and my rules. You know what I mean? What goes on in here stays in here. You follow what's going on in here if you want to
Mm-hmm.
be in here. And that was it. And
And
I
I'll say
mean,
I taught in Philadelphia for a year, and
mhm,
I taught in like one of the roughest parts of Philly. And it's nothing against Philadelphia, friends. It's nothing against it,
mhm.
but I lived on the outskirts. Like I lived in Northeast, and
Okay.
so understanding that it really does cost a whole lot more to live in the safer area than
Mhm,
it does to be in a place that's more affordable. So even as a mother, I was, I'm a single mom with my
mhm,
two kids. I was stressed out. I was exhausted because I would be at work. I taught that because of the traffic, I would drive almost an hour to get home,
mhm.
and the rent was crazy out there. So I
Yeah.
understand where, as a mother, how she was like, look, this is what I'm doing for you. I love you. Get your life
Mhm.
together. How
Right.
what could she have done to see what was happening with you? Like in retrospect.
In retrospect, I just started being rebellious.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know if she visibly saw that, but because my mom, um, she worked full time. She went to school full time. She had card games. She had card games in her house to make money. She sold dinner. She sold liquor. She ran numbers. Like she
Mama
was
was a
hustling.
hustler.
She
Okay.
was hustling to pay her mortgage, to take care of her children. And again, her children did not want for anything. We got what we wanted. It was hard for her, and we didn't even know that it was hard for her.
Because she made it look easy, huh?
We made it look easy. We didn't
That's what
even
we
know
have
that
to
all of
do.
this, we came from a big family, so it wasn't nothing for us to have a whole lot of people at the house because our family was enormous.
Hmm.
So it was always family or friends or whatever.
Miss Melody, I think that we may have lost you for a second. And so while we are waiting for either Miss Melanie's Wi-Fi to kick back on, um, or let me just make sure. Let me just double check because I think we may have lost you, Miss Melanie. Let me just double check, friends. Listen, I'm talking to Mj Stroman, and we're talking about her brand new book. I decided to laugh. And so what I'm having to do here is I'm just double checking to make sure that I do not overstep. Okay, yes, we're frozen. So, Miss Melanie, this is what I need for you to do. Miss Melanie, Nikki, I need for you guys to jump on either with the cell phone or to jump back out and come back in. Okay. So, y'all, we are talking about I Decided to Laugh. And I'm so excited because the book has hit 3 bestsellers lists. It's hit 3 bestsellers lists. I had the opportunity to work with Miss Melanie, and we've been working together. It's been close to 6 months, and we've been able to finish her book. And it's really just an incredible story of how she was able to overcome, I'm so excited about everybody that is tuned in. Stay tuned in because I know that she's logging back on. And for those of you that have not had an opportunity to grab the book, please do so. If you're on Amazon, please make sure that you follow me. It tells Amazon that I'm super cool and that I need to keep having a show here, but also follow me because it just helps to grow my audience. And while you're there, please purchase her book, purchase both of them, purchase the Amazon, not the Amazon, purchase the Kindle, or purchase the paperback as well. And so far, what we've been talking about with Mj Stroman, and I affectionately call her just Miss Melanie. We've been talking about her experience with sexual abuse as a child, and unfortunately, this is something that I wish I could say that this is a taboo thing that happens, but it happens all the time, and oftentimes it's happening. And like she used that word in plain sight. It's happening right in plain sight. And so I'm hoping that what you're taking from this is that you are taking notes to be in communication with your babies, right? And I have to remind myself of that often because as a single mom running multiple businesses, running ministry, I find myself often, I'm so busy and I have to remind myself, Mika, you got to just stop for a minute. You got to stop. You have to get yourself together and you have to give them some time. And Miss Melanie, while I'm talking about this, just reflecting on myself as a mother, as a mom who's busy, and I can imagine being your mom because I'm in her shoes. You know, I had two kids and all of those things. But I've had to learn how to say, I've had to learn how to say no to other people outside of my home. So like weekends, for example, I've put up boundaries. It's like weekends, I'm with my babies. And if I can absolutely help it, I don't do anything else, but it's me and my babies. Obviously, we go to church and stuff, but it's me and my babies. And so, what we were talking about before the Wi-Fi decided to act silly,
you know what I mean?
We were talking about what is it that you think could have been done, that your mom could have seen what was happening. And I know that you talked about the fact that you became rebellious and you weren't sure if she even saw that because honestly she was gone. But before you jump back into it, I do want to give a shout out to who everybody is calling Gam. We have H. Brinkley is saying Auntie was on her grind, a way maker. Y'all, we are not talking down about her. We're just talking about
that's
reality.
That's Gam. Gam is my mom.
That's Gam. That's Gam. Latoya says yes, and imagine being a single parent managing two kids trying to go to school, just trying to make ends meet. Gam, wow, she was dealing with so much. Yeah,
and so he played on her. And when you a pedophile, they do things to reassure you that everything is well. Now, what could have been different if I had that kind of relationship where I could talk to my mother? I was afraid to even tell her that this person was doing this because I didn't have that kind of relationship to talk with her. My mother talked at me. She talked down to me.
Wow.
And those are the things that gave me fear. And she would be, you stay in a child's place. You know what I mean? You don't talk when adults are talking and, things like that. So I had a fear as well. And then the person would talk fear to me too. Now, don't let me tell your mother because you know what she'll do to you. I'm just like petrified, like I'm gonna get in trouble for something. And that time, a parent or a neighbor or somebody could say that I did something and I would get my behind whooped. You know what I mean? 9 out of 10, I probably did the things. But that one I didn't. You know what I mean? So,
right.
He just embodied my mother so much. And then he would be, like when she would have a card game or something, he would buy everything that she needed for it to take the weight off. Let me take the weight off of you. You know what I mean? So when somebody is blinding you with that, and then, she put it out there, don't talk to my kids, my kids is off limits. I don't have my kids in no grown people face and things like that. She ran her house hard. And so he knew how to manipulate her and me. And he did it really well. He manipulated her and me. And it's a sad situation because I didn't have a conversation. The only thing that I can charge her with is she didn't talk to me. She didn't see a change in me. She didn't see that something was severely wrong with me. And, it's probably because of everything that she was doing in her own life. She didn't see it. You know what I mean?
Miss Melanie, and I'm hoping I can like formulate this question well, because I've been thinking about it for days.
Talk about it.
It's unfortunate, but we talk all the time about absentee fathers, right? And so the world is kind of used to seeing some or hearing somebody say, well, I really didn't grow up with my father very much, or he was kind of in and out. And we understand when a person has a tense relationship with their father. It's something different when you kind of have a tense relationship with your mom.
Yeah.
It just does something a little bit
Mm-hmm.
different to you. And you actually experienced not really having a relationship with your father, and
Mm-hmm.
because of circumstances, not really having a relationship with your mother. What
Mm-hmm.
did that do to you?
Well, it left me out there by myself.
Mm,
Like I had to, a lot of times I would just talk to myself. I wished I was white because I saw white people as prosperous. I saw them with a mother and a father. I saw them with a car, a house. You know what I mean? I saw them not struggle. So it just left me by myself. My father, he was married when him and my mother got together. So um, I tried to ask him, well, wait a minute, honey. He said, let me tell you one thing. Now, that's what you're not going to do. And I was afraid of him when he said that. I was a grown woman when I asked him, like, where were you? And he
mm.
said, oh, that's what we're not going to do. Whatever happened was between me and your mother. I don't have to explain. I'm your father. I don't have to. I said, okay, buddy, I'm just meeting you. Okay. You know what I mean? But that's the generation that I grew up in. So he was not there. And I just imagined how it must have went when he found out my mother was pregnant and he was married with a wife and kids. He probably said, oh no, that ain't my baby, or oh no, I'm not going to be bothered, or oh, or he probably disappeared. You can just imagine what people do today. So you got home, you out here playing around in the streets and get caught up, and now she has a baby on the way. He probably said abort it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because that was going to bring problems in his house.
yeah,
I don't know. I could just speculate, and my speculation to me is right because I see what guys do now, even young guys. Oh no, I got a girlfriend. I mean, you were just joking around or whatever.
yes, they
That
do.
ain't my baby.
Yes,
You
yes,
know what
they
I
do.
mean?
Yes,
So that probably would happen. He don't get a pass. He just, he had other responsibilities that he had to take care of, and that was his first priority. And I guess he was just having fun. He wasn't in it for the long haul. Of course not. He was a married man,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and God brought me forth.
So, Miss Melanie, as we read in the book,
Mm-hmm.
the the relationship with your mom was
Mm-hmm.
very tense as you had your daughter and different things like that. There were
Mm-hmm.
times where you were put out of the house, you found yourself homeless with
Mm-hmm.
the baby and going from place to place to place. But now there's love. You love your mom. I want to
I
ask you,
Go
how
ahead.
did you get from the pain, the hurt, the anger I'm sure that you felt then to but you love your mom? And I don't for you, you're telling us your testimony,
Mhm.
but there's no hatred behind it. You're just telling your testimony. How did you move to this place of healing?
Well, my mom, I always loved her. I always loved her. I didn't always understand her. I didn't want to understand that part of her. Um, she came from a lineage of strong black women, and she did not want me to be a bum. Like I put something in the book. I had gotten me an apartment, honey, in
Okay.
projects.
Okay.
And she came down to that projects and she stood outside and she hollered up there and she said, I ain't raised you in no project and all that. And she just totally cursed me out. She said, you got them kids up in there just so you could be, with somebody, with some up in here. Oh, I said, oh my gosh, why don't she just leave me alone? But she knew that there was more in me and she didn't want me to settle. And that's what the friction was after we got over um, a hump. And then what changed us really is one day I was so mad at her, so mad at her, and I blurted it out. But I already had my baby. I was an adult at this time. And I told her, and to see her, how she broke down when I said that,
Hmm.
I just felt so bad. Like, because I wanted to hurt her, and I did.
What did you say?
I said, yeah, your friend that you love so much, that's your brother, raped me when I was a child. And and the way I said it hard, and I said it mean, and I wanted it to land, and I wanted her to be hurt like I was hurt. And it did just that. It did just that. And it broke my heart. My mother was devastated. She was crying. And so I left. I left, and went home, and we didn't talk for a while because she couldn't face me.
Whew.
And that hurt me that I hurt her. And so she tried to kind of like avoid me or whatever. But what I did was, and I'm very good at this, after something happens, I can forgive you. When I forgive you, I don't have any more of that. We're not bringing that back. I forgave you, and it's over with. It's over with.
And it's
After
over
I
with.
forgive you, I don't dig it back up or anything. After I forgive you, I pull you all the way in close. You may be pushing back like that, but no, it's over. Let's move past that. I don't want to be there no more. It's over. And so I just started coming around. I said, Mom, don't worry about that. Like, it's over with. Like, I just wanted you to know what he had done to me. Like, and she still couldn't talk about it. And I told her one day, I said, Mom, I said, one day I'm going to have to tell this testimony. And she just said, okay. And as God would have it, I couldn't tell the testimony while she was alive because it would have humiliated my mother. And I had been writing a book for 20 years. This book I had been writing for 20 years, but the Lord wouldn't allow it to come forward because I was not healed. I was still writing pain in the pages, and it wasn't helping nobody. So I had to heal before I could write it, because now I can help somebody. And I know where they're at when I see them. I know where they're at when I'm talking to them. I know how to help.
And Miss Melanie, you goodness, and I'm pretty sure that people who know you and they see who you are now, and and I'm sure
Talk about it.
You got caught up in drugs, adult entertainment. How did that happen? Like,
Okay.
before you go there, if you don't mind, I do want to give a shout out to Mari over in Brazil. She bought.
Hi, Mari. Thanks for joining.
Yes, and she brought. So now you're international. You're an international bestseller officially.
You know what I mean?
Okay, listen. We have Shell Vera that also said that she bought the book. Maya is wanting to buy the book, but I know she doesn't. She doesn't want to click off of here yet. Okay. So we have folks that are purchasing the book. Let's just see here. We have a lot of folks that are definitely tuned in, and they got a lot of good things to say. Latoya says forgiveness. She says, my mom has a saying, can we start over? She says, it's so good to see you healed and set free and smiling with a real smile.
Amen.
Yes. Levon says, I bought the book.
Yay!
Shell says, what I'm loving most, your smile is so contagious. As you speak, even with the painful moments, your joy shines through and I feel it. It's a beautiful smile. God gave you that smile.
Yes,
beautiful. Beautiful. So we, friends that are connected right now, we are talking about the international best-selling book, I Decided to Laugh. I decided to laugh. If you have not purchased the book, please take a moment and do that. It is definitely a book that you want to add in your library, one that you want to gift people, one that you want to utilize for a book club and all of those great things. So we're talking about, how did you get caught up in this adult lifestyle?
Well, okay, so I had a girlfriend, and me and her were we were she had gotten pregnant too, but nobody knew that she was pregnant in school until way after me. I was about to have the baby, and then they start buzzing about her because me and her became close because we both was in school and we both was pregnant and we both was crying every day in school. So we became friends. We are still sisters to this day. And when my mom used to put me out, I used to go to their house. And one time I came back there, and they had started doing something new, and they were getting money. And that was my whole thing. I needed money to take care of my children. A regular 9 to 5, I was not. I did it, but I needed money for me and my kids. I needed to pay the bills. I needed to get them what they wanted. I needed. And so they talked to me about dancing. So you put stripping. So I want to say, no, I wasn't stripping. I wasn't taking off anything, but I did dance for men, honey, with a G-string and little outfit on. And that came from and let me tell you one thing, I was a pro at it too. When I say I did it, I did it.
You better shake those hips, girl.
Oh, yes, honey, I did it. And it all stems from me being an ugly child. And my family telling me that I was an ugly child.
Oh, my God.
I speak about that in the beginning of the book because I want parents to know whatever you say and seed into your children, that thing takes off and becomes its own person. I never felt attractive. I never felt like I was pretty. So when I had that opportunity to do that, that made me feel pretty. That made me feel wanted. I talk about being unattractive in my book where the guys that I liked didn't like me. I had to take the ones that I had to settle for the ones that was settled for me. And they wasn't always the good ones. So this, I made money, but I enjoyed doing it because it made me feel wanted. It made me feel like I was being accepted. It made me feel like Beyonce, you know what I mean? Like it made me feel like I was the prettiest woman on earth. And I wasn't the how can I put it? The most honest person because I was very seductive. So I was very misleading and manipulative. So all of that came out as well while I was doing it. And I would manipulate men that were unattractive and couldn't get, a pretty girl.
Saying it.
And
sorry, Miss Melody, I'm just laughing at how you said I would manipulate men that were unattractive. Like that.
Yes, because that was what happened to me. So I did what was done to me to them. And and I would con them out of their money through, sexually dancing and, promising them the world.
Wow.
So one night, it almost got dangerous.
Yeah, don't tell us about it.
We gotta tell you about it, but one night, it was like, woo!
Yeah. I remember reading that, and I'm supposed to be editing, and I was like, what happened? Oh my God, how'd she get out of this? And then I had to remind myself, Tamika, you're editing right now. Like
you're editing.
I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, yeah. So you said let me just go to the comments. PJ says, so proud of you, Mom. Powerful story.
Love you, son.
PJ says, don't plant those bad seeds. Also says, look what God has done now. Greatness, greatness. Shashan says, words can kill self-esteem. I'm so proud of you, cousin. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, my love.
Yeah. And so you've lived a really interesting life, Miss Melanie. What did your kids say? Did you talk to them about what they were going to find out in the book, or are you kind of like, y'all got to read it?
No. Okay, so I wanted in the beginning when I was writing the book, because I have the greatest respect for those two young ladies in the world, and so they know, this great mommy that they done put her on a pedestal, and whenever I fall off that pedestal, they let me know, you got to get back up there, and so I was telling them, I never hid anything from them. Let me start there. It's some things in the book that they did find out in the book, but I was writing a book and I wanted them involved with my writing. And Latoya, she said, no, we will not be. You have to write your own story. We don't want you to hold back because of us or anything. We don't want our opinion to stop you or anything. Just write your book. And it was one thing that I put in there that I hesitated back and forth, because I said, oh, when these young ladies read this book, we're going to have a conversation when they read about this. And so no one brought it up. Latoya hinted to it once. She said, but it was just one thing. And I said, what was it? And for some reason, we got to something else and she never could tell me what the one thing was. But I already knew what the one thing was. And I was waiting for them to talk about it. I don't think Nikki read the book. I don't think she read the book.
What did she say?
Don't tell my business. And they heard me.
Nikki, you spoke. Now you got to the camera.
I don't think she read the book, and I don't know why, but I didn't force her or anything. She might have read a little bit, but I don't think she might have read the first page. I don't think she read anything more. But my baby girl Lauren, honey, that's me. She read that book and she let me know she read that book. She said, yeah, because and me and her be cracking up about that book. And she said, Mom, you're a warrior. You are a warrior. And I said, girl, shut up. Because she just looking at the juicy part, the tea. That's what she's looking at. But it is what it is. But they were my only, that was the only thing that I took into consideration. But I wanted to be as open and as honest as possible, because the Lord let me know when he releases a testimony, he's ready to heal some hurting people. That's it. So I knew that the testimony was going to heal or help a lot of people. At one point in time in my life, I thought I was the only one in the world that had been sexually violated. Then I started realizing that, oh, you was too? Oh, you. And it just was popping up. And when I first heard that boys were being violated, oh, it just busted my heart in. And my testimony takes you from the abuse, and then it takes you down this black hole that I began to go down because of it. I couldn't verbalize what had happened to me. I didn't have a voice. I didn't matter to nobody. So it was me by myself. And I didn't put this in there, and I started to call you and say, hold the book. But I even contemplated, I even tried to commit suicide. And I'll talk about that later when I get in certain places. But people don't realize how a child processes things. And this is what I want parents to know. It needs to be, this book needs to be in colleges. It needs to be in daycare centers. It needs to be in churches. It needs to be in the schools. Everybody that come in contact with children needs to read it. I am now talking with adults that were violated as a child. And the trauma is still there. You try to raise kids over it, you try to live over it, and that stuff spills inside of your relationships, all of them that you have. The good thing about it with my children, they let me know. These women got a voice. They've been SWV.
Okay.
Voice. They've been there before SWV because they will come and say, well, Mom, I don't like how that was done. Or Mom, you shouldn't say that. Or Mom. So they they're good for it. Mom, you need to stay on topic. If you're going to chastise me for this, but you shouldn't bring all that other stuff in because I'm good for adding. And I am I still have my mother's DNA. I still was raised with her. So sometimes that comes out. And they let me know, oh, no, not in this house. You know what I mean? Can we talk about it? Because you didn't like it when Gammy did that to you? That's some words up in here. Oh, you didn't like that when Gammy did that to you? I said, oh, here we going. This is what we going.
This what we doing now?
This is what we doing now. So, but I had to learn to apologize. I had to learn, and my story, I've been telling them my story. And my story had to be told because it helped heal me. And it's going to heal others. It really, really is. And parents, especially single parents, when I first started writing the book, the demographic was young single mothers. But it just kept getting so big and it just kept growing. So I couldn't just have it to one demographic. It's for everybody. Everybody needs to be able, if you're having children, if you're grandmother, if you think about having children, these are things that you need to talk about. And it's also good for those that are for adults that have been violated as a kid and living as an adult. That trauma, if you have not addressed it, it comes out in different ways. You suppress it, but it comes up. And we try to push it down again, but it comes back up. It needs to be dealt with. We have to face it to fix it. We got to go back to the scene of the crime.
Come on.
And deal with it where it happened. Because that's where the trauma started. And that's where we suppressed it. And those things have followed us all of our lives. And it comes out in everything. You can't keep a job. Why you can't keep a job? Because something keeps coming up and you keep being angry about something. It's go back to that. If you resolve that, then your life will change.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. This was a whole TED Talk right here.
TED Talk.
Face it to fix it. That was the Mj Stroman moment. I had to post that. Face it to fix it. And sometimes the scariest thing is for us to face.
You got to face it.
That monster. But it's right there and it's looming over us oftentimes. H. Brinkley says we must treat our trauma.
Yes.
Latoya says, I read the book a few times and yes, I thought I knew everything, but there was one thing I didn't know and I didn't want my mom to feel bad trying to explain, so I never said anything. She says, I love you, Mom. God has you here on purpose.
And let me tell her, you don't come on here and say that. You come to me, but anything that you want to ask your mom, I've always been an open book. I'm not going to stop now. Ask me. I could tell you.
Miss Melanie, you are a visual testimony that teen pregnancy, being abused as a child, all you have all of the perfect makings of the perfect storm to not become anything. And you have risen to greatness. I think it was LaVon that said that you truly have risen to greatness. Like God has really taken your pain and turned it into purpose. all three of your children are wildly successful. Did you want to take a moment and brag on them, or that's okay? But did you want to take a moment?
I will. I will. I will.
You made people. You made people. So
I would have never dreamed in all of my life that I would have three beautiful, successful women of God. When I had my first daughter, it was, little whispers. Yeah, she gonna, have, you know, all she's gonna do is have kids, and her kids are gonna have kids, and they're gonna follow, her. It was just whispers in the family. I'm gonna be honest. And my mother, one of the things she instilled in me, she said it to me every day: "You're gonna take care of that baby. You wanted that baby." Because she asked me a question. She said, "What you gonna do? You want your baby?" So I said, "I want my baby." I'm 14 years old. I said, "I want my baby." She said, "Oh, you want your baby? You got it." And she meant that.
You always wanted your baby. Like
I always wanted my baby. It was never, I didn't even know to think about anything else. I just knew I was going to have the baby, period. I didn't know when somebody was going to find out, because I prayed every day. I said, "Lord, please don't let me be pregnant. Lord, please don't let me be pregnant." But I was, and I knew I was pregnant from the day that I knew it. So, and one of the things that I wanted to do was prove them wrong, those whispers and those voices. And I did not want my young daughter, my baby, my first daughter, to be a statistic. And me being 14, pregnant, and having her at 15, I didn't have nothing to teach her. Wow. Because I didn't know nothing. I was still a kid. So, when I see the young ladies now, and they, oh God, I saw this girl on a bus with a baby. She had a hug. First thing in the morning, that she feeding it to the baby in a bottle, a hug. She put a bottle top on a hug, and just first thing in the morning with this sugar and all that. And I just looked at her and I just said, wow. I was the same way. I didn't know what the heck I was doing with that baby. But as God would have it, I was determined.
He said a hug. You so Philly, mom.
A hug. A hug. I said, what in the world? A big one too, not the real small one. Oh my one. I said, oh my gosh. First thing in the morning, the baby. I said, Lord. But I was the same parent. I didn't give her a hug, but she ate from McDonald's more than she did a meal.
My kids did too in the beginning.
Happy Meals was what I fed her. So when I see that hug, I felt like it was a Happy Meal.
Who is PJ? Because PJ just said, and I'm sorry to cut you off, PJ just said that baby's going to have 4 teeth at the age of 12.
That's right. And then they all going to be silver. The one that they got is going to be silver.
Oh my God. PJ, stop interrupting my interview. No, I'm just kidding.
So I was determined that they were going to be better than I was. And what I did was I poured everything. Nobody thought I was anything anyway, so I didn't think I was anything either. So everything that I had, I was always last. I poured everything into my 3 daughters, and I made sure they went to programs. I made sure that anything that the city had for children to keep them out of the street on the weekends, during the summer, they were in camps, they were in programs during the year. They was in after school programs. They took music. Lauren had piano lessons, singing lessons, every lesson. She had them. Nikki Yamaguchi. She was doing ice skating.
Not to tell her business.
She was doing ice skating. She was doing artists. She was doing. I made sure that there was some seeds being planted in their life. I didn't know what they wanted to do, but I made sure that there was some seeds being planted. And one of the things was school was not a compromise. and I hadn't even graduated high school because I dropped out. Read the book and you'll find out about me. But it was mandatory. You had to be intelligent because reading is fundamental. Reading is power. Education is power. And that's all I could tell them. And so Latoya wound up being the star student in everything she did. So she raised the bar high for the other two because they always, she always was doing something in some program all the way out the front. So they, with that being their bigger sister, they always tried to live up to that. And they did good, but I made sure that they all were individuals. Don't walk in Latoya's shoes. You're not Latoya. Walk in your own. So let's make some footprints in the sand for you. And I'm so happy to say that I have 3 daughters. All of them have graduated from college. All of them have very good jobs. One is a television producer. One is an actor and a writer and a content creator. The other one is what is she? An A&R rep for Sony Publishing. And it just baffles me when I look at them, what they were able to accomplish. And I don't really take the credit. I love to give the credit to the Lord because that's the only resource that I had. I didn't have nothing or nobody. That he was my only resource, and I have to give it back to him. I can't even say that I did this on my own, but I am a praying woman. And when I say I'm a praying woman, I am a prayer warrior. And that's all that I had to get me through everything. So you say, when you look at me now and you see the person that I came into, that comes from my relationship. I have a relationship with my father, and I had to lean on him. I had to seek him. I would cry for hours and ask him for direction. I don't know what I'm doing. I need you. You got to show up. You said, and that's my famous, is you said. And I let him know, you said that I could do all things. I'm not strong. I'm not strong right now. You got to make me strong. When they still go out, I still say, send me where you at, your location. Mom, no, send me your location. I don't care. Send me your location. You grown, you this, you that. Send me your location. It's not, Mom, you all in my business. No, the times that we live in, I need to know where you're at. That's all. I'm not trying to come be wherever you at. If you're somewhere you don't have no business, you already know that because you don't want to give it to me. But the same is with me. When I go out, what's your location? So come on.
And so you gave all the accolades of the babies and I think it was Nikki said you gave Lauren's full job description. but because we're getting ready to get out of here, but here you are growing up, little Melanie from Philadelphia, MJ from the block, if you will.
Yeah.
Teen mom, exotic dancer, caught up in drugs, whispered that you weren't going to be anything, that your children weren't going to be anything, 3 children that are in entertainment. But the way that the way this next chapter of your story reads, you're a minister, certified life coach, motivational speaker, and now international best-selling author. That is so to smile about, something to definitely laugh about. Miss Melanie, tell everybody, how can people connect to you if somebody wants to bring you in to speak? You want to order your books in bulk, let us know how people can connect to you.
You can connect to me with me through Miss Melanie Books at gmail.com.
Ms. Melanie Books at gmail.com. Also, friends, make sure that you connect with her online. She's on IG, Ms. Melanie Books. Find her on Instagram. She's also on Facebook as well. Are you also under Ms. Melanie Books on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I'm doing a clubhouse every Thursday.
Now I got to get back on Clubhouse.
Okay, I got a Clubhouse every Thursday. I don't know how I got that, but someone one of my friends on Clubhouse did that one. But
now you have your own chat room on Clubhouse now?
Yes, it's called I Decided to Laugh.
Now I got to get back on Clubhouse.
And it's every Thursday at 6.
Okay. Oh man. Yeah. Well, we just messed you up for today. So thank
you.
No,
it didn't start yet. Nothing was going to start. I wasn't going to do anything until after I did this.
I appreciate it.
And I had this.
Shashan says, how do I get on Clubhouse? So Clubhouse is now available for iPhone and Android. You just got to go. It's an app. It's a phone app. So just get the phone app, download Clubhouse. It's actually just called Clubhouse.
Okay.
Let's see here. Mom Wendy, she says, say it. He wants you to speak his word back to him. That's going back to when you were talking about how you said, God, you said, and you put that back in his lap. She said, I'm a prayer warrior too. I love it. Latoya says, this was a wonderful
interview. Started in prayer. Listen, that's my first love. That's my first love. That's where I go.
Prayer?
Yes.
Well, what's your tip for people who are like, yo, Miss Melanie, yo, Miss MJ, I can't pray for more than 30 seconds. What's the trick? What's the secret sauce for developing a powerful prayer life?
Well, I pray the scriptures. So what I do is I tell him back what he said to me. You said that nothing is too hard for you.
Uh-oh.
You said that. You said that your word will not return back to you void. Period. Wherever you send it, it's going to perform wherever you sent it. And it's not going to return. It's not going to return to you empty. It's not going to return to you void. It's going to do what you told it to do. And you said you sent your word and healed me of all of my destructions. You said that, Father. You said that. You said that you forgave me. You said that you forgave me. You said if I would forgive my brother for what they did to me, that you would forgive me. And so I tried to do that. That's how I pray. I pray with the you said. And I pray for others. I pray for others, even those that don't like me, my enemies. I pray for them too. Because all of us need somebody to pray for us.
Everybody needs somebody. Mm-hmm. Listen, this has been an incredible interview. And you already know, and I know Toya, poor Toya, we would get on anticipating like a 5-minute conversation. And then you and I would be on for like 45 minutes. We would be like, I have to go to set. Like, I got to go. Right.
Yeah. So I got to go.
So, Miss Melanie, you and I, we could just go and go and go. This has been a blessing. I got to put this in here. Toya says, Nikki, when mommy was talking, I knew she was going to say Nikki wanted to ice skate. Listen, you got the babies attacking you in the room over the internet and everything.
That's normal. That's normal. So I don't flinch. It's normal.
You said because you didn't flinch. You just looked right at her. It was like, yeah, Nikki Yamaguchi. Okay.
Nikki Yamaguchi. She was Nikki Yamaguchi. She had us out there. We out there freezing and she on the ice.
Were there other Black folks out there?
No. And we were up in was we in Chestnut Hill? Chestnut Hill where the skating rink was at. Chestnut Hill, Philadelphia. We was up there and everybody, it was only clear people out there. And I'm saying, Nikki. Alabaster. I'm saying Nikki, but every Friday she had to go ice skating.
That's how she was ice skating, Miss Melanie.
So she was ice skating. And then she said, take a picture. She said, she's ready to go.
She's been Nikki Star her whole life.
Nikki Star all her life. Yes. And anybody that no one knows that. She's been Nikki Star all her
life. Nikki Star her whole life. Miss Melanie, do you have any parting words, anything that you want to just say to the audience before we go tonight?
Before I go tonight, I want to say thank you for all who took the time to tune in tonight. Tamika, Dr. Tamika, my niece Tamika Hall is fabulous, and she's great at what she does. And I love all of her lives, all of her girl talks. She is the best at what she does, and I just thank her for this platform tonight. I want to leave with you. It's nothing too hard for God. It's nothing to be ashamed about. If something has happened to you in your youth or whatever, and you've been trying to suppress it, you no longer have to suppress it. Talk about it, face it. You know what I mean? And release it and let it go, because it's not hurting the person, it's hurting you. And it's time to get free. It's time to live your life. It's time to get everything that you were supposed to get. So I just want you to know that I'm here if you want to talk. You know, there's so many people that call me in secret and you know, have things to talk about. I had one lady that she had a bad situation and she is going on to be with the Lord. But I thank the Lord that she even had a chance, that her and I had a chance to talk. And I pray that the words that I was able to speak to her, that they were freeing for her. But the bottom line is we have to face it to fix it. And let's fix it, y'all. Let's fix it.
Face it to fix it. I do just want to give your babies a moment.
That's healing. That's healing for our
healing.
soul.
It's healing. It's healing. It's healing. Let me see here. Nikki says, love you, Mama. Oh, wait. Yes. Love you, Mama Star. Latoya says, Mom, this is your moment. We are so very proud of you. Healed, set free, and delivered. I love your smile. And I just want to say, to just bring it all full circle, when folks read the book, and friends, if you haven't gotten it yet, please do so. We want to like break the record with getting her book during the live. But in the book, you describe your laughter and your smile as a nervous thing. So it's so perfect that to come full circle, you decided to laugh, because now your smile, it is a direct demonstration of the fact that God has healed you. So there's no pain behind it anymore.
No, it isn't.
There's no fear behind it anymore.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. And I could speak it from the top of the highest mountain. It used to have me in bondage because, you know, if I got into a relationship, I didn't know, should I say something or whatever. But now I'm free, and whoever the Son sets free is free indeed. And I'm free.
I love
If you want to get free, get with me. I'm gonna help you get free.
You better go ahead and drop all these nuggets. Nikki, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I adore you. Thank you to everyone that has been here with us tonight. You know, yes, this was about me wanting to share with you this incredible gem, Miss Mj Stroman, but I really wanted you to be set free too, because I knew that her testimony could do just that. I've picked up so many things, making sure that I'm present with my kids, like above all things. I don't care if I can't do anything but push out an extra 5 minutes to just talk to them for just a moment. My kids have to know that they can connect with me. And Sean actually had said right before you talked about bondage, said guilt and shame keep you in bondage. There's nothing like healing and being free. And so I'm hoping, friends that are here, that you are free. Please do me a favor. I want you to please subscribe to Miss Melanie. Her website is coming out very soon, but make sure that you do connect with her online. Go to Ms. Melanie Books. You can find her at that on Instagram as well as on Facebook. If you want to bring her in, you want to interview her, you want to bring her in to speak, preach, y'all got some of all of that. And you want to buy books in bulk, maybe for a book club or what have you, you can always email her, msmelaniebooks@gmail.com. And also, thank you so much, Latoya, for why can't I speak tonight? Subscribing to me. Thank you for subscribing to me as well here on YouTube. I definitely appreciate that. And you guys stay connected. Go to TamikaHall.com. Thank you. Come on, H. Brinkley. Tests turn into testimony. That's turn into testimony. Yeah. I feel like we should have had H. Brinkley on here with you too.
Y'all know what I mean?
Y'all would have been tearing up Amazon between the two of you.
She's my little cousin. I love her.
Yeah, y'all would have been tearing it up. But Miss Melanie, yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say that this will be on YouTube, right?
It's everywhere. And we're currently on YouTube right now.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
No, because my aunts, they don't do social media, and they have been calling me. I said, listen, I'm gonna have to let them watch it later because they talking about, I heard you was on TV. I said, well, okay.
Well, you are on TV. This is just the beginning, honey. It's Tamika Hall Live.
Okay.
Follow me, darling. This is my audition for. I'm just kidding.
My uncle called me right before I went on. I had to listen to the voicemail. I said, I can't because
Latoya wanted to give a shout out to all the family that is joining. Yes. I know Nikki gave a shout out to all of her family on YouTube, so the YouTube family, the family, all of that. And I, of course, thank you all so much that always support me and all of the Girl Talk family. I don't know if you recognize some of the names, Miss Melody.
I did. Oh, yes, I did.
A lot of Girl Talk family that was hanging out with you and that supported. All right,
can
guys.
you please plug that you're on every morning? Now that I'm on the East Coast, I can get on because I used to get on at 4:30. But
yes, ma'am. Listen, friends. Thank you so much, Miss Melanie, for that. I was trying to see if I had a banner that was loaded up here. I'm on Wednesday through Friday now because the Lord told me to.
Okay.
He told me to like abbreviate my schedule a little bit, but I do devotionals in the morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Miss Melanie, there's really no excuse because Miss Melanie was getting up and joining me at 4:30. No.
4:30.
3:30, right?
No, 4:30. 4:30.
Oh, yeah.
I would set the alarm clock. And the days that I didn't come on, I would just oversleep.
Right. And so yes, I am on and we're doing better, Miss Melanie. I've been doing better about trying to bring down that time, but God he's just so good. He's just so good.
Yes, and I be getting all caught up too.
Yeah, he's just so good. So if you guys want a little bit of a pocket of peace in the morning, you want to connect with God, then definitely join me right here on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on Instagram for that in the mornings. I love you, Miss Melanie. This has been amazing. More. And listen, I told you it was going to be 15 minutes. And then I definitely said to you yesterday, I was like, we're not going to go 15 minutes.
I knew we were going to go 15 minutes. We can't even go 15 minutes on the phone.
No, we can't.
Call for a quick minute. Call for a quick minute. We don't even go for 15 minutes. So
not at all. But I love you. I love your babies. They all sound the same. Like now I know I have to be like, which one am I talking to? They all have the same voice. Like,
thank you for having me, daughter.
I adore you. Everybody, remember you were created to make God famous, and He has anointed you to do hard things. You all have a blessed evening.